One thing that we all need to recognize is that the world of work is always changing. It's ever evolving. They say that the jobs that are here today may not be around in 20 years. So it doesn't really matter what hard skills you have because those are going to constantly evolve. There'll be new technology, new programs, new ways of doing things that you'll need to adjust to as time goes on. But what's never going to change are those core basic skills that we all need to have. That's how you interact with people. It's the brand that you set up for yourself and how you do your work. Your job may be gone. You might need to adjust into a different field. Maybe your life changes and your career takes on a new direction. But no matter where you go and where you're at, you're always going to need basic soft skills like communication and time management, even digital etiquette, to be able to thrive in the world of work. With nearly 60 years of experience on the front lines of hiring in Maine, we see a lot here. We see how there are different things that people do that create barriers to employment for themselves in the terms of soft skills, how they interact with people in the workplace, to their job history, to how they present themselves in the interview. Because we're so engulfed in the world of hiring, some of these things we take for granted as common sense, things that everybody should know. But the truth is, common sense is really a byproduct of the environment we grew up in and the social norms that circled those environments. And not everybody was blessed enough to have those positive role models or positive influences in their life to help teach them those things. Or maybe they weren't at a point in their life that they were ready to take those lessons on. So we can sit here and we can, question why they don't have this information, or we can say it's time to help. And that's what we're here to do today, is talk about what we believe are common sense basic skills like time management and communication that can help stop being barriers to employment and help people overcome them so they can have a successful career. So when you think of the word basic, you think of normal, you think of, again, common sense, you think of simple. But when we're talking about basic skills for the workplace, they're anything but simple. In fact, they're deeply complex because they can change from company to company. They can change from job to job. They could change with given time. Take, for example, communication. What was acceptable and standard decades ago is no longer acceptable and standard in today's workplace. Things like time management. Perhaps if you're in a salaried position, it's acceptable to be a few minutes late every day. But if you lose that salaried position, then you can't necessarily be late all the time, and it's going to question your reliability. So these basic needs are not simple, they're not easy, they're ever changing and very complex. So don't take for granted that people just naturally get them. Hard skills are absolutely important. Let's face it, there are a lot of skills that people need for individual jobs that are trained skills. I mean, I couldn't just go be a neurosurgeon tomorrow or even an electrician or a hairdresser because it takes a very well-trained skill set to do those jobs. But that doesn't make soft skills less important. You see, soft skills are skills that everybody needs regardless of the industry that they're in. And they end up often being the differentiator between you and, say, someone else. You could be the best surgeon on the hospital floor, but if you don't know how to talk with people, if you're unreliable, if you don't know how to manage your time, that's not going to allow you to keep the job. Soft skills are the skills that are going to set you apart from others and really help you stand out in the marketplace. A lot of people who have had all the skills for a job and they're going up against somebody else in the interview and they just end up coming in, let's say, second in that process, chances are it was something about the other person's soft skills that made the difference for them. So don't underestimate the power that soft skills have on your career. Well, the first thing that you need to do is recognize that you're struggling with some of these skills. That's the first step to solving any problem. The other step is to take a look at what some of the common basic skills are that every employer is looking for. Simply look at a number of different job advertisements and you'll see communication, ethics, integrity, confidentiality, a number of different skills that people are looking for. And then you kind of unpack each one of those skills and dissect them to see, well, what does that actually look like in the workplace? How do I display those strengths and weaknesses? And then from there, you start looking at how you can move forward and do better. To help you in that journey, over the coming months, that's what we're going to do. We have selected 11 different common basic skills that we believe every employer is looking for. And we're going to unpack and dissect each one to uncover what it's like in the world of work, what it's like in the job search. Now, we would be remiss if we didn't say that sometimes it's beyond a simple learned behavior. Sometimes there is an actual barrier that's preventing somebody from obtaining these skills, be it a medical or mental health issue. And those are things that can impact their ability to secure employment. If that is the case, we encourage you to work with a professional. That's what they're there for. And they can help you improve upon skills like communication, dependability, self-awareness, and all of those great things.